fun little video I wanted to put up. I got inspired to do this video after I saw I hope that's her name, Elle S. Anyway, I was just totally inspired by watching her video, and I was like, you know what? Hello, I want to do one just like this. So I came up with, I believe there's still 14. I came up with 14 things. I came up with 14 things that I've learned about makeup since I've been here on YouTube for the past 3 years. So number one, it's gonna be using clean brushes. Honestly, I can't even let me pull up my stash. Hold on, just pause a second. All right, so these are just a few of my brushes. I remember this guy. Still love this little bunny hopper, and my stash over here. Anyway, the entire point to showing you all of that is this. Only dirty brushes I have, maybe I should have shown you all that. Only dirty brushes I have are from today. These are these little bad boys. Yeah, I used that many brushes. Why did I use that many brushes? I'm not sure, but I did. Anyway, so I used this many brushes in today's look. That's what's gonna get washed. I am all about making sure I wash my brushes after I use them. I don't care if I wash them right after or I wait till nighttime and I wash them. It's up to you. It depends if those are like your favorite brushes. If they're your favorite brushes, go ahead and wash them right after you use them. So by the time the next day rolls around, your brushes are already clean. Because one thing I can't do is I can wipe them on the towel, which is I keep a towel right here, but it's still not the same. You're gonna have colors on that brush from other eyeshadows and other things that you touched. And unless it's like a bronzer brush where you always use that bronzer, if it's for that one thing, that's different. But at some point, you still need to wash the brush. I just go ahead and wash it because I like a fresh application every single time. I like it to look flawless every single time. And if you want flawless application, especially with your eyeshadow or your bronzer or whatever, you need to wash your brushes. You need to. So that'll be my recommendation number one. I know a lot of people, it's easy to get pretty lazy and lax on that, but honestly, if you just keep whatever it is that you're going to use to wash your brushes with in the bathroom, so if you use like Dawn or you do use like a bar soap or whatever, just keep that to the side on its own little tray underneath the sink just for washing your brushes. So you use them, wash them, put it back in the sink, whatever, and put your towels on your brushes on the towel and keep it moving. Especially if you break out all the time. I mean, it could be partly due to the products and what's in them, but it's also due to not cleaning your face properly, but it could also be due to the fact you're not properly cleaning your brushes either. So get on top of it. Next one is a beauty blender isn't for everybody. Y'all, I've tested it on my channel. If you haven't watched that video already, I did one where I tested it against Curler and I tested it against e.l.f. And that was my first time using Beauty Blender. And the Beauty Blender, honestly, it is pretty darn awesome. If you don't know how to blend, if you struggle with blending, the Beauty Blender is for you, or something similar to that. I've been hearing people raving about the Flower brand, the one you see in Walmart. Who is it? Drew Barrymore, her brand. I've been hearing a lot of people raving about that sponge, so definitely check it out. And of course, a lot of people love Real Techniques as well, so try one of those if you feeling like you struggle with using a brush. But me personally, I started out learning using a brush, and yeah, it's quick. Yeah, it's quick. Maybe I'm just lazy, but it's quick, and maybe it's also the formula. So I think it's probably more so a mix of both. It's most likely the formula and the brush that you're using, because not everything applies the same. Sometimes some products, they don't even work with either one. They don't work with a brush or with the Beauty Blender. They actually work better with your hand. So go and figure, but use what works for you. Oh my gosh. All right, so the next one is about primers. When I first started my channel, there was still so many things I did not know about makeup. And please don't get me wrong, even where I'm at, There's something you can always learn. So going into that, when I first started, I was trying all these different eyeshadow primers. I remember I tried Urban Decay. Yep, I sure did. I tried Urban Decay. I took it back. I tried it was a new MAC one that had came out. It was like clear. It was like a 20-hour or something in a black tube. I tried that. I took it back. I tried the Milani. I took it back. What else did I try? I tried quite a few primers until I started realizing that my personal preference was actually cream. I even tried concealer on its own, and for me, even the concealer on its own, sometimes it did work pretty well, but yeah, overall, I would have to say cream is actually my favorite primer. So I want to say, if you're struggling with your eyeshadow look, try a different primer. A lot of times it could be the primer that's causing you to really struggle. So yeah, play around with that. So my eyeshadow game has changed ever since then. And I think it also depends too, like what kind of eye look do you like? Do you like the kind that's like lightly dusted on, that doesn't look like you actually colored it in with a marker? If you do, then hey, some other primers are for you. But if you like a full impact look, like something like this, and you're not necessarily spending that type of money on the eyeshadow, then yeah, you're gonna want to consider using a cream or something of that sort. All right. Oh yeah. All right, so the next one is playing around with creating different shapes, placements of eyeshadow to see what works for your eye shape. And I'm gonna say this because when I started out, I was like literally, I was just putting the shimmer on my lid. I wasn't really going above my crease. I was working the color into my crease, but I wasn't going above my crease. And even now, like I was almost kind of reluctant to practice doing the whole, cut crease thing with a concealer. And I started doing it, and I'm like, dang, that's another step but it makes it easier. It makes your eyeshadow pop, and it makes it look more clean. So I have to say, like, everything has its purpose, and don't be so cut off from wanting to do another step that you don't allow yourself to test it out. Even down to smoky eyes. It could be that maybe you're monolid, or maybe you have a hooded lid, and maybe you're a little bit more on the mature side. Try smoky eye. Look at Oprah. Most of her looks are usually all some kind of color smoky. It could be a deep color, but usually some kind of deep color smoky eye, and it looks dope on her. So think about your eye shape, your complexion, that type of thing, and consider those type of things. Like, what kind of looks I could do on me that'll suit me, especially when you're like in a rush. Nobody got time for a full glamour look like this when you're in a rush. Nobody's trying to think hard. All right. Next one, change how you apply your eyeshadow, because not all eyeshadow formulas are the same. And this is especially true when I did my ColourPop round 2 video. The first time I used it, I was like, that was my first time buying a palette, because I had used their little pots before, but I really wasn't a fan of the pots. I'm sorry, all them different pots, having this pot here, pot there, and I need to go. I get it, it's cute. If that's your cup of tea, all gravy, all good. But I just personally couldn't do it. I'm one of those people, I like it clean and simple. I need it to be in this palette or that palette or that palette. I don't want to go opening every little canister just to get to an eyeshadow color. Unless it's something rare that I need, then yeah, maybe I need to consider putting it in a Z palette or some kind of palette like that, so I can have them where they're like all right there and not in little canisters. That just, my mind just can't. I mean, I understand, you do have some pretty cool like lid toppers and things like that. They need to be concealed in their own little canister. I get that, but I'm just saying I can't have a whole large spectrum of eyeshadows and they're all like that. That's just not me. I just don't have time for it. So, but anyway, point to the story. The whole thing with that eyeshadow palette, that was my first time trying out that She palette, and it was I just wasn't a fan of it, but I kept playing around with it, and I ended up realizing that I don't need to set my eye with the cream. I need to actually set my eye with the eyeshadow after applying the cream as my primer. And man, them colors just was like, they were showing up. They were showing up for all kinds of stuff. And all I can say is test out stuff, try it out differently. You know, instead of blending it in, I just pat them on. And then after I patted them on and set all the colors, then I started blending them in. And that was my first time thinking to do that. And it turned out great. So that's why I ended up doing the round 2 on that sheet palette. So if you're curious about that, you can check it out. It's, maybe I'll link it to this video. More work. Let's see here. Oh. Don't be afraid to test out different eyeshadow palettes from different companies. I would definitely say that because I've tested out loads and loads of makeup, even from companies I've never heard of, at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. And I would say this, the one thing I've learned is all eyeshadows are not equally made. They're just not. And when you're first learning how to do makeup, a lot of times you would think it was you. Like if I would have started out with that sheet palette, I would have thought it was me. And I would have been like, I'm hopeless. There's no hope for me. Yeah, all hope is lost. And that wasn't the case. The case is the issue is a lot of times the problem is the eyeshadow palette they're using, especially when you just start learning, and then in combination with using one of the most expensive primers, and that thing is just not the business. Like it's just not. And here you are wasting money when you can just save it and use your cream concealer or whatever it is that you or cream foundation and use that on your lids instead. Plus, are you saving money? You're not wasting money on any extra product that you don't have to. Oh, yes. All right. So if you are new to my channel or you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I'm an oily skin person. And I remember me and my friend, we were hanging out like all day long, and we ended up going to Bobbi Brown. That is funny. All right. I just did a video about that. That's funny. Coming full circle. All right. So we ended up going to the Bobbi Brown counter, and the makeup artist and esthetician that was there, she actually said one of the biggest mistakes that people do, especially when they have oily skin, is they don't moisturize because they're afraid of getting, even more oily under their foundation. And I noticed that too in a lot of videos. Instead of you seeing people priming their face, they'll jump straight from not using the moisturizer straight to the mattifying primer, because it's like they're trying to hurt and alleviate oil. It's like you need to oil your skin, or not oil your skin, sorry. You need to moisturize your skin. You can't not moisturize your skin and put on a mattifying primer and possibly set it with powder on top of that, and then put on your mattifying foundation, and then don't think your skin is not gonna be like, Eve, I'm dry. Produce oil, produce oil, produce oil. We need moisturization, we're dry. Hello, moisturize your skin. If you are oily, find a non-oily moisturizer to use on your skin. That's why I like using aloe. But even like right now, like it's honestly like my skin doesn't usually like peel or do any of that foolishness. My skin is starting to peel. That means what? I need to up my moisturizer. So I did find this moisturizer that I'm going to be investing in, and I'll be sharing that on my channel pretty soon in one of my looks. But my whole entire point is this: even if people who have dry skin, they already know they gonna moisturize. They ain't playing around. If you have oily skin, you too should be moisturizing. Just be selective on the type of moisturizer you're using. Like you're not gonna sit here and use a moisturizer that has coconut oil and stuff like that, because some of the stuff just don't work for everybody. It clogs your pores and make you get bumps and stuff like that. We ain't got time for that. So all right, what's the next one? Everyone should know this one by now. But I'm just gonna throw it in the video anyway, and that is wetting your shimmers to make them pop more. That's just a given. If you watch YouTube, you should already know this. All right, moving on. All right, the next one is don't be afraid to do something new because you think you can't do it or because you failed in the past. I think honestly that's one of the main reasons that stops us from doing a lot of things in life, just besides makeup. Just because you failed the first time, the first 10 times, doesn't mean you quit there. I remember working at this place, and when I found this out about the owner, I was like, wow. I used to be a vet tech for almost 5 years. I was working at this place here in Georgia. Is a specialist place for animals, so it's like specialty stuff, specialty diseases and stuff like that. And yeah, that's just one of the wild jobs I've had. That's not the only one. Oh yeah, so I remember the lady, somebody was telling a story about her, the lady who owned the clinic at the time. She came out with an eye ointment to treat some kind of eye issue, and she failed 25 times. 25 times. Can you imagine doing 25 different ingredients or recipes or experiments? And don't even just think of it as a number. You gotta think about all the procedures that went to it, all the preparation that went into each one. 25. You think maybe at 5 you might have given up, or maybe at 10, or maybe even at 20, and that's nothing compared to some other people's stories with them, doing stuff over 100 or over 1,000 times. So my point to this is, don't be so easily discouraged because you didn't get it right the first 3 times. Keep practicing. That's how you get better at this stuff. I didn't get to do eyeshadow like this just because I quote unquote know how to do it. I even struggle with color. Yeah, I can do a natural one any day because you can get that thing to blend straight into your crease and you'll be straight. But when it comes to color, it's kind of tricky. So what I'm just saying is get in the habit of putting in the practice. And practice means you don't wait till you get ready to go out to actually put your makeup on. You actually practice, you ain't going nowhere. Just practice. Because those are the times if you messed up, you figure it out, you have time to correct it, figure it out, and you'll learn even different stuff just from that. Like you could make an accident and you could learn how to clean that up and it'll be like, man, I'm glad I did that. Versus if you were going out, you'd probably be freaking out, trying to wipe off the whole entire look and start fresh all over. All right. All right, so this one, it says everything that a YouTuber posts doesn't mean you have to run out and buy it. And that includes how they dress. Oh, my friends. I have nothing against us all being inspired because believe it or not, that's what we all are. We are all inspired. But just so you know, I know a lot of times, we feel like we need to get this or we need to get that because somebody else has it and because that'll help make my makeup game even better. And yeah, it might actually make it easier. Who's to say it's not? It might actually make it easier, but maybe I would get it if maybe you could afford to do those things, fine. But if it's not within your budget to do those things and you're going to spend it on credit cards or you're not paying for other things that you should and you're doing this, yeah, I would say, kind of pump your brakes on that a little bit and prioritize. Now, maybe this is something that you love and enjoy doing, and maybe you're trying to grow your channel here on YouTube, then hey, I totally get it when it comes to making a sacrifice and doing what you need to do. I get it. Trust me. If anybody gets making a sacrifice so you can do what you need to do, I understand. But if you don't have it, find other creative means to get around it. If you're not able to have it, it's fine for this moment. Like, that's okay. There's other ways and other means to get the same look, to go about doing the same thing, even if you don't have the same products. And that includes dressing just like other people. My goodness. Let's try just to change up the looks just a little bit so we don't run around here looking like clones, okay? That's all I'm saying. I mean, because I see some stuff, I feel like, ooh, that's cute. I can wear that with some of my other stuff and rock it and make it look cute. I don't need to buy the whole entire outfit and look like a complete clone. Don't get me wrong now. Some of us do need inspiration, and I could use some inspiration in my closet. So I can say that. But just don't become a clone. That's all I'm saying. All right. Try using different brush sizes and different brushes with textures on them. All right, so this is my favorite part. Start talking about what I'm into. All right, so this is what I mean by different brush with brush textures. All right, so if you see this brush here, oh, I just love this brush. Oh my gosh, this one right here from Eco Tools. Matter of fact, I should have used this on my browser. Anyway, I love this dome brush. It puts the powder on perfect. It's nicely textured enough where it will pick up the powder and put it on your face. Especially even this one. Oh, I love using this one for highlighter, for eyeshadow, eyeshadow for all kind of stuff, and you see how dry it looks. It has that texture look. Same thing for this one as well. These type of brushes are best used when they're textured like this for powder. Even the ones for the eyeshadow. Where are you sitting, my dear friends? So like even like this textured one here, it's like that goat hair. I don't know if it's real goat hair or if it's actually like a synthetic brush hair that just has the feel and touch of goat hair. But either way it goes, these things are perfect for applying eyeshadow to your eye, blending it in. It is just awesome. So these type of textured bristles work best with powder. And the ones that are more on the sleek side, I hate that brush. And then these ones right here, I prefer to use these type of brushes with liquids or creams, especially like this one right here. That's perfect for putting on like your cream concealer, or maybe like your shimmer eyeshadow, that kind of thing, where you wet it and apply it on. Same thing, foundation as well, foundation, contour, whatever, same thing. That one right there. So that's what I usually prefer, and it took me a while for me to figure that out, because I was like, your real hair? When I started looking at the prices for real hair brushes versus synthetic hair brushes, I was like, hello. Common sense. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and spend a lot of money on no natural hair brushes. So until they started coming out with stuff like this, that changed the game. Now I can afford to actually buy those especially like for like powdering your face and stuff like that. So look into that, because I feel like a lot of time that changes your makeup game. Like you could be using synthetic brushes on everything, like that sleek looking bristle, and it's just not gonna work well for picking up a lot of things, especially powder, especially powder eyeshadow. Like it's just not gonna give you that look that you're going for. All right, what's the next one? Oh, yes. So, yeah, I was guilty of this one. When I first started my YouTube channel, especially the first 2 years with applying liquid foundations. But when it comes to like liquid foundations and piling it on and putting it on, and then you got to put on the concealer, then you got to set it with this powder, then you got to set it with another powder, then you got to put this bronzer on it, you got to put the highlighter on it, you got to put the blush on it, you got to do this. By the time you get on doing all that stuff, especially after putting on your foundation, that's what I was really guilty of, was putting on way too much. And it was to the point where my skin would get oily like crazy after like maybe 3 hours. And what I came to realize when I started changing my technique and going more for a natural look, that I stopped getting as oily. I would get oily like an oil slick. Like it looked like somebody took their hand with oil on it and just went poof. Like it was that bad. Like there was nothing cute about it. If your face is getting super oily, like somebody took the bottle and just on your face, try that. Try lessening up some of the products that you put on your face, because a lot of time your skin can't breathe. All right, and it's probably super dry. All right. And this one is the last one, but this is not the least one. All right, my people. So let me say this. When I first started dating my boyfriend, I remember I did this eye look, and it was a smoky brown eye. And even I wasn't a huge fan of it. And he saw it and he was like, I don't like dark eyeshadow on you. And I'm thinking to myself, you out of luck, because I didn't tell him that. But I was like, you out of luck, because I do makeup on YouTube. You have to get over that. And I'm thinking to myself, I got a whole bunch of makeup here. I ain't gonna just wear neutral eye all day just for you. And I remember he would be like, oh yeah, I like this eye on you. This looks really good. And then one day, after wearing all these neutral looks, I did like this dark purple with gold and stuff. And he saw it and he was like, oh, I like that. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, this is a dark purple eyeshadow. Didn't you say you don't like dark smoky eye? I was like, you know what? It's not he didn't like dark smoky eye. He didn't like the dark brown on my eyelids because it made me look dead. So what I'm saying to you is, don't let what other people say, because a lot of times it could just be that color they don't like. That don't mean you need to stop doing your makeup the way you're doing it. It just maybe means you just need to change up the color when you're around them, and that's it. So, because I want all kind of dark, crazy looking colors off my eye, and I haven't heard another complaint after that. So That's all I gotta say. If you're doing something, do it for yourself. And I know a lot of times, you know, women will stop wearing a whole bunch of makeup, that they'll be like, oh, my boyfriend doesn't like it when I wear a whole bunch of makeup. Yeah, probably because you're slapping it on like peanut butter on bread. Lighten up your hand a little bit doesn't mean you stop wearing it, but it's just your technique. That's all. Like with some people, especially with men, they'll be like, oh, I don't like you with makeup on, but let you put your brows on, let you have some nice eyeshadow. It don't have to be no crazy colors like what I got in my eye. And then, you know, put some lip gloss on your lips so it look like they're kissable. Please. And some blush, and some bronzer, and some mascara. Yeah, whatever. I'm telling you this now. I don't know one man that does not like their woman to look polished and for other men to be like, except for the jealous ones, and they might not want nobody looking at you. So yeah, but even then, nobody got time for that. Figure out what works for you. Okay, all right. Anyway, I want to say thank y'all so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.